Good morning, children. The date sheet for pre-board exam for class 10 and 12 have already been displayed, and with the date sheet commencement of the pre-board exam for class 10 and 12 likely to be held in the month of February, and as the date sheet have come, the children are having hectic preparations. So in order to warm up them, in order to enlighten them with the syllabus of class 10 and the way of questioning that can be put on in pre-board question paper, the pattern of the question paper, I just want to acquaint them both in writing and literature section what kind of questions can be asked. First of all, in writing sections, there will be questions that will be of 5 marks writing, long writing and a short writing. But the limitation of the word for 5 marks will be 120 words. Like a question has been just given for just warming up activities for the pre-board exam. The question is, to lead a happy and contented life, one has to develop human and moral values. Write an article on the topic inculcation of moral values in children in about 120 words. 5 marks question. So you have to write the heading in capital block letter, and then on the right hand side write by the name of the writer. If the name of the writer is given in the question paper, write it, otherwise you write by XYZ. So the topic has to be written in block letter, inculcation of moral values in children. Now I'm just deliberating some of the ideas about how we can inculcate moral values among the children. No civilization can survive without moral and ethical values. Moral and ethical values are the pillars of this society. If the society has set a code of conduct for each individual, and we have to abide by that, it is our moral responsibility to follow them in letters and spirit. See, the society has already set a code of conduct for every individual, in every walk of life. We have to follow these. It is our responsibility to follow these moral and ethical values, in letter and spirit. People living together must be helpful, sympathetic, compassionate, religious, and kind. Inculcation of moral values in children is of utmost importance. Children should be taught the moral values through their lessons. While teaching the lessons, I just understand that each and every lessons that we are teaching, whether it is science, whether it is literature, whether it is, there is an underlining moral values that the children can be inculcated. So at the end of the lesson, the teachers and the parents must underline the theme, giving and conveying the message, particularly the moral values that the lesson is associated with. Children should be taught these moral values in everyday life, and they should be encouraged to follow them. They should always be motivated to, respect their elders and respect their parents. They must develop the habit of respecting the women folk. They must have the, from the bottom of their heart, they should have respect for the woman, because it is the core of the society. They should respect one another, and they tend to live in peaceful and happy life. The basis of happiness is love and affection. No society can be governed without love and affection. So the basis of happiness of the society lies in the, togetherness and peaceful existence and love and affection. So we must understand to give respect to the people. Then only we can live in respect and dignity. Our dignity and respect can be guarded only when we respect one another. And respect cannot be demanded. It is a question that should be commanded. So, according to Vivekananda, he said that the divinity lies in each human being, and so it is the responsibility of each member of the society to display moral values in their conduct so that the children can imitate them. If the elders cannot display these moral values in their day-to-day activities, how can we expect the children they will imitate it? So they assimilate whatever they see from the elders, particularly their teachers and their parents. So the teachers and parents have a greater responsibility to display these moral and social values in the day-to-day activities while teaching, while interacting with the children. Then only they will assimilate, or they will get these values, and I'm sure this way they can have the understanding of moral and ethical values. Then the second question is related to literature, a very small question that I am discussing about. Why do girls like Bholi suffer? Yeah, see, Bholi is born to a very rich and prosperous parent, but because of her handicap, as she got, I mean, her brain damage at the age when she was just 10 months old. She fell from the cot and she got her brain damage. She didn't develop like a normal child. Because of that, the as she was among the other daughters of the father, so she was not treated well and she was often neglected. So this is the case with the children born in group, like 6 7 children in the same family. The children don't get proper nurturing and care, and they are often neglected. So this is because of the reason. Either see there are two factors that really affect the nurturing of the children. One is the negligence of the parent, another one is the orthodox and prejudice mind. As the Bholi's mother always believes that if we provide education to the girls, there will be problem in their marriage. But the irony is that when the girls are educated, they get better, I mean, in-laws, and they get better houses after marriage, and they get better, I mean, husbands at the time of marriage. So this is not the reality. So the girls like Bholi suffer because of the prejudices and the orthodox thinking of the parents, that they think that the girls' education is not important. Girls are meant to be married and sent to the other house. This is the, I mean, ugliest notion that is being in the mind of the parents. And unless they save these notions, the girls like Bholi will be bound to suffer. Another question: how did the no? Why were two boys in London? No. That is not the question. The question is this one. Um, what is a favorite? What is the favorite there in Kurg with the trekkers, and what made Rajbir amazed in the way of traveling? The question number first is that what is favorite there Kurg with the trekkers? Yeah, when the trekkers can enjoy investigating and enjoying the breaths of coffee, they favor to enjoy water sports like rafting, canoeing, rappelling, and mountain biking in the forest. One can also have the company of squirrels and langurs at the time of traveling on the hilly areas, particularly in Kurg. Now the next question: what made Rajbir amazed in the way? Rajbir had never seen such a large greenery ever before. So when he was traveling by the train, he saw there was a huge green. There were plantation everywhere. They were spread like a wide sea. This made Rajbir much amazed, and they were grown in the you know orderly rows of the bushes. And this is the last question. What did no? Do you think Tricky was happy to meet his mistress? Yes, Tricky was, of course, happy to meet his mistress after he was treated at the veterinary hospital. When he saw his mistress, he took off the chauffeur's arm in the tremendous leap and just stalled out into Mrs. Pomfrey's lap. She loved Tricky from the bottom of her heart, so she was also excited to see Tricky healthy and sturdy. Actually, Tricky, being a very favorite pet of Mrs. Pomfrey, enjoyed the food and company of Mrs. Pomfrey. Therefore, when Tricky saw Mrs. Pomfrey, he jumped into her lap, and that excitement was quite obvious because he was meeting his mistress after a gap of fortnight. That is why he just had an excitement of meeting Mrs. Pomfrey. And this is the last question. Who was Jeffers? How did he become unconscious? Jeffers was a constable. He was called to arrest the strangler, and he was called to arrest the stranger. Jeffer was stunned to realize that the stranger was invisible. He was to arrest a person whom no one can see. Griffin Griffin knocked him unconscious because he tried to arrest the scientist. Griffin was the scientist and he was trying to become invisible. He was trying to escape, but Jafar went to arrest. I'm sorry. Jafar went to arrest Griffin. Therefore, Griffin knocked him down and escaped unarrested. That is how we come to compile this session of revising for pre-board exam. Thank you. Have a nice day.